Hello and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. Fiona MacLeod MSP, who supports the Scottish Government's plans to redefine marriage, has refused to meet with a local resident who opposes the change. The SNP politician had invited local residents in her constituency to come and speak with her about any issue. But when Rose Doherty tried to arrange a meeting to discuss same-sex marriage, it was declined. She says, "I was refused an appointment to meet with Fiona MacLeod because she has already firm views on this issue and won't be changing her opinion. When I clarified that in effect my local MSP was refusing an appointment with a constituent to discuss an issue as a result of having been encouraged to get in touch, I was told that that was correct." A complaint has now been lodged with Holyrood's presiding officer, but so far MacLeod, the SNP representative for Strathkelvin and Bearsden near Glasgow, has made no comment. Meanwhile, in Westminster, Maria Miller has announced that same-sex marriages in England and Wales can now take place from the 29th of March next year, much earlier than the summer timescale originally planned. The Culture Secretary said the development is just another step in the evolution of marriage. However, Colin Hart, campaign director of the Coalition for Marriage, criticised the minister's comment, saying, "It is an astonishing comment from the Secretary of State to say this is just another step in the evolution of marriage. What is the government envisaging as the next step?" Staying with marriage, and the Australian High Court has overturned gay marriage legislation. The Australian Capital Territory, which is self-governing, passed a marriage equality bill 2 months ago. But the High Court has struck down the new law, finding it to be inconsistent with federal law. The Federal Marriage Act, revised in 2004, specifies that marriage is a union between a man and a woman. The marriage issue has also been debated in 2 TV interviews this week. Free Church of Scotland minister Revd David Robertson and homosexual rights campaigner Peter Tatchell faced each other for a live debate on Christian channel Revelation TV. The programme, called The Future of Marriage, included a head-to-head debate followed by a live phone-in and audience participation. And in America, evangelist and pastor Rick Warren appeared as a guest on the Piers Morgan interview show. During the programme, Morgan quizzed Mr. Warren over his views on marriage and asked how, if he believes in equality, he can deny the right of gay couples to get married.
I'm more against the redefinition of the term marriage than anything else. I don't think other groups get an opportunity to redefine a term. And I think historically around the world, the vast majority of people would say marriage means one man and one woman in a commitment. Don't take a term and make it something different.
Morgan went on to ask Mr. Warren whether he could see a time in the future where his position might change.
I cannot see that happening in my life. I fear the disapproval of God more than I fear your disapproval or the disapproval of society.
Some other news now, and the new private members bill calling for online adult content filters to be a legal obligation has been introduced. Baroness Howe's online safety bill, which was debated in the House of Lords, advocates replacing existing voluntary agreements between the government and the internet industry. The bill aims to raise awareness of the issue and put pressure on internet service providers and mobile phone companies to provide pornography-free content, with an age verification option for those over 18 to deactivate the filters. A retired surgeon who has multiple sclerosis has spoken out against plans to legalise assisted suicide in Scotland. Professor Donald MacDonald said that current laws exist to protect the vulnerable and should not be changed, and warned the qualifying conditions of the proposed bill were so vaguely defined that they seem fairly elastic. Professor MacDonald, a Fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons in Edinburgh, also said that he thinks the proposals are a hideous departure from the Hippocratic and Christian tradition of the medical profession. The comments come following the launch of Margot MacDonald's latest assisted suicide bill. In it, the MSP proposes that people as young as 16 should be allowed to tell their GP of their wish to die. And finally, churches in Scotland are looking to recruit people to become bed and breakfast hosts for athletes' families, coaches and volunteers during next year's Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Visitors to the city are facing soaring accommodation costs during the Games, with some budget hotel rooms for the 10-day event costing up to £6,000. But now Christians are being asked to fill the gap with an initiative called More Than Gold. Chris McRae, a Church of Scotland representative for the scheme, said, "Welcoming strangers is a mark of Christian service. We'd like church members to open their houses to the relatives of those taking part in the games." Plans are also underway to put on entertainment and big-screen family events in churches and halls. Mr McRae says he hopes the initiative would help build a legacy of cooperation and Christian love beyond 2014 in the city of Glasgow. Well, that's all for this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.